There is nothing more frustrating than being brand new to Procreate. You dust off your iPad and open the app. You're really excited to get creative. You've watched a ton of videos. Other people make this look effortless. And then you try and do something simple. You just want to fill a shape, but it won't fill properly. Or you try to draw and it won't let you. Or you install a brush and you don't know where it went, just vanishes. It feels like everyone else knows what they're doing and you don't. But don't worry, it's not just you. Most of the things that stump beginners in Procreate have extremely simple fixes. And once you understand why they're happening, they no longer trip you up anymore. Today, I'm walking you through the top 10 most common Procreate battles that beginners face and exactly how to fix them. Let's go. So mistake number 1, your ColorDrop fill isn't working properly. You know you're supposed to be able to drag a color into a closed shape, but instead of filling neatly, it fills the entire layer or spills everywhere. This usually happens for one of 2 reasons. First, the shape might look closed, but there's a tiny gap somewhere along the edge. Or second, the brush you've used has a texture. So textured brushes can create small gaps in the outlines. Even if it looks solid, if you zoom in, you might see that there's these little gaps, and Procreate sometimes reads that as an open shape. If you're creating shapes that need to be filled, use a solid brush for the outline. And zoom in, check carefully for any gaps. And if the fill isn't quite reaching the edges, adjust the color drop threshold. And you can do that just after you drop the color. You keep your pencil on the screen and you can drag left or right to increase or decrease the threshold until it fills correctly. So you're not actually doing anything wrong. It's just the shape isn't completely sealed. And by the way, don't worry about remembering everything or taking notes. I have a handy free cheat sheet you can download with everything we cover today, so you can keep it for easy access later. Okay, so mistake number 2. You keep accidentally drawing with your finger. So you're happily drawing away with your Apple Pencil and then suddenly there's a random line across your artwork. You didn't mean to draw that. You were just resting your hand on the screen or tapping to move something. By default, Procreate allows painting with your finger, not just the Apple Pencil. So if your finger makes contact with the canvas in the wrong way, it will leave a mark. And this is especially frustrating if you've already used up your undo history. You can actually fix this. You just need to go to your actions menu, which is the one with the wrench icon, go to the prefs tab, and then just tap on gesture controls and then general. Under here, there's this setting, enable painting with finger. Just toggle that off. Now, only your Apple Pencil will draw on the canvas. You can still use your fingers for gestures like pinching and zooming, rotating, etc., but they won't accidentally create those stray marks. It's a tiny setting change, but it makes a big difference. So number 3, you're always drawing everything on one layer. If you're putting your outlines and your fills on the same layer, you're really limiting yourself without realizing it. So you won't be able to recolor them separately down the line. You also won't be able to move one element without moving everything. And once things are merged together on one layer, they become one single piece, which means your flexibility disappears. Sometimes working on one layer is intentional if you're blending colors in a watercolor style, but in most cases, beginners are doing this by accident. So don't worry, it's an easy fix. You just need to keep in mind and separate your fills from your outlines. Keep the main elements on their own layers. And you can use something called groups to organize related layers together. So to make a group, you just need to select more than one layer just by sliding to the right on any layers you wanted to select, and you see this group option up the top. Now, when we group our layers, we can move them all together. You can still move and scale and rotate everything inside the group all at once, but the individual layers remain separate for editing. So you get all the flexibility of working with multiple layers without losing the convenience of treating them as one unit when needed. So number 4, you're running out of layers. So you open a file, you create a few layers, you haven't even started drawing yet, and suddenly Procreate tells you you've run out of layers. Why? Procreate Procreate limits your layer count based on two things: your iPad model and its available RAM, and the size and resolution of your canvas. So the larger the canvas dimensions and the higher the DPI, the more memory each individual layer actually uses. So if you've got something like 6,000 by 6,000 pixel canvas at 600 DPI, that's actually going to dramatically reduce how many layers you're allowed. This happens a lot when you're working with an image that you didn't actually create yourself, like a stock image or something that you downloaded. Sometimes those canvas sizes are really big without you actually realizing. For example, if I tap the canvas menu and choose canvas information, and then I choose layers from the left here, I can see at the top that my maximum layer capacity is 25, and I've got quite a good iPad. So that's not going to get me very far. But here's how I can fix it. If we go to the Actions menu and tap on the Canvas panel and then crop and resize here, now we're going to tap on Settings, make sure the Resample Canvas toggle is turned on, and then tap the little chain icon here so that your width and height stay connected proportionally. Now we're going to type in a smaller size. For example, I'll enter 3000 in the width box here, and the height updates automatically. So tap the little tick here to apply the changes. Now I'm going to go back into canvas information, and under the layers now I can see I have 112 layers available, so that's much better. Just keep in mind though, you still want your dimensions large enough to create good quality artwork. So my go-to starting size is around 3000 by 3000 pixels at 300 DPI. That gives you a really strong print quality and a reasonable number of layers to work with. And bigger isn't always better. It can just sometimes use more memory. Just a quick reminder as well, you don't have to memorize all this. There's a free cheat sheet linked in the description below, and that lists all the mistakes and their exact fixes. So the next time something like this goes wrong, you'll know exactly what to check. All right, let's talk about pixelization, because this one actually confuses a lot of people. So number 5, your artwork looks pixelated, your canvas is too small. So you spend hours drawing something and you zoom in and it looks really blocky. Or worse, you try to print and it comes out blurry. That's not a drawing problem. That's a canvas setup problem. Procreate is pixel-based. That means your artwork is made of these tiny little squares. And if your canvas is too small to begin with, those pixels get stretched, and that's where they look soft or blurry. Or if you're starting with something like 1000 by 1000 pixels and then trying to enlarge it later, it just isn't enough data to keep it all sharp. So my recommendation is a solid starting size of 3000 by 3000 pixels at 300 DPI. At 100% view, your artwork should look smooth and crisp. And now, if you ever plan to print your work, 300 DPI is essential. And yes, if you zoom in ridiculously far, you'll still see those pixels, but that's completely normal. What matters is how it looks at actual viewing size. So number 6, your artwork looks pixelated, you're resizing elements too many times. Now here's the second pixelization issue, and this one sneaks up on people. So let's say you're trying to find the right position for an element in your composition. You resize and then resize again and rotate it and move it to this side, that side, just trying to find the right position. Every time you transform or move something, Procreate has to recalculate those pixels, and each transformation slightly reduces quality. So one resize won't ruin it, but multiple resizes over and over again will, and those changes accumulate. That's when you start to notice that blurriness or distortion. To fix this, I recommend keeping a backup of your original element. Work out the final size and placement with as many transformations or rotations as you need. Then you can replace that version with the fresh original and transform it just once into position. That way, you're only recalculating the pixels one single time, not 5 or 6 times back and forth. That trick of just keeping a backup just gives you peace of mind, so you know you can replace that item with a really crisp layer. So number 7, you don't understand file types. So you finish your artwork, now what? What file type do you choose to export it in? PNG, JPEG, PSD, Procreate file? There's so many options. If you don't understand file types, you can accidentally export using the wrong one, and either you'll lose your layers or you'll reduce your quality. So here's a quick breakdown. PNG is great for digital use. It keeps transparency as well, so if you wanted to save something with a see-through background, that's the one to choose. It's perfect for websites and social media graphics. A JPEG is a smaller file size. It's also good for social media. It just doesn't keep any transparency, so any blank transparent layers will be saved out as white, and it'll be slightly compressed, but it should give you a good file size if you wanted to send it online. Procreate files keep all your layers exactly as they are. They're not actually really compatible with other apps or for uploading online, but they're necessary for backing up your work because you need to export Procreate files and keep them somewhere else, because Procreate files are not saved anywhere else but in the app. So if something goes wrong with your app, you need to save your Procreate files to iCloud or Dropbox or a hard drive, just somewhere where you can back them up. So a PSD is a layered Photoshop file that can be opened in Photoshop or other compatible software. So this can be a good option for sending files to professional printing. So knowing which file type to choose prevents a lot of frustration down the track. Number 8. You're confused about RGB and CMYK color profiles. So if you've ever switched your file from an RGB profile to CMYK and suddenly all your colors look dull, muted, flat, it feels like Procreate just ruined your art. But here's what's actually happening, okay? Because RGB is light-based. It's designed for screens and it's bright because it's backlit, right? It's on a laptop or a phone or a device. So there's bright, shiny colors. CMYK is ink-based and it's designed for print, and ink simply can't produce the same vibrancy and brightness as light. So yes, CMYK will actually look more muted compared to RGB. That's perfectly natural. And if you know from the beginning that your artwork is for print, you could consider starting a CMYK profile canvas, so you're not comparing it to an RGB version. But glossy or photo paper can also help your printed colors appear more vibrant. And some printers actually handle RGB files very well without even needing to convert to CMYK. So you'll have to find your own method there. So I recommend doing some tests early on before you create your full artwork, just so you can be sure the right approach for you and your particular circumstances. But the key is understanding that RGB and CMYK are fundamentally different color systems. So number 9, you're trying to draw on a locked layer or the wrong layer. So if you've gone to draw and nothing happens, or maybe you get a little message pop-up box and you're wondering what that means, or you're drawing but you can't see anything appearing on the canvas. I see this happen a lot, especially in my calligraphy worksheets and training, because the guide layers are intentionally locked so you don't accidentally draw on them, and there's blank layers above to use instead. So a lot of people go to draw on the locked layer and they get this little message. The thing to do is then choose the blank layer above and they're good to go. But there's actually a few common reasons this happens as well. This one catches people all the time. You might actually be drawing on a layer that's sitting underneath a layer that's covering it. So your active layer is highlighted in blue and you think you're on the right one, but there's something on top that's actually blocking you seeing what you're drawing, so it looks like nothing's happening. So to fix this, open your layers panel and check, is there a locked icon on the layer you're using? If so, unlock it or change layers to the blank layer above or a different layer. Is the correct layer highlighted? Are there any layers above the layer you're trying to work on that might be covering your work? And if needed, you can drag your active layer above the other layers or temporarily hide layers above it by unchecking their boxes. If you're ever unsure, just select the layer at the very top and tap the plus sign to create a brand new blank layer on top to test. Before you draw, get into the habit of quickly checking your layer order because it'll save a lot of confusion. Okay, so lucky last, number 10, you're erasing instead of using layer masks. So if you erase something from a layer, it's gone. Procreate only has a certain amount of undos, and if you leave your canvas and go back in, your undos will reset, so you can never get that back. Layer mask works differently though. They're non-destructive. So that means nothing is permanently deleted. If you add a mask to a layer and then you paint on that mask with black, you're not deleting those pixels, you're just temporarily hiding them. So you can simply paint with white to reveal them again. And that gives you so much more flexibility. So this is a much more professional way of working that gives you a lot more control. Once you get used to the layer masks, you'll never need to erase them from a layer again. And that's it. Those are the top 10 most common Procreate mistakes that beginners make. If you recognize yourself in any of those, don't worry. Once you understand what's happening behind the scenes, Procreate becomes dramatically easier to use. To make sure you don't get tripped up by these again, I've created that free cheat sheet that lists every mistake we covered along with the exact fix for each one. So the next time something isn't working for you, you'll know exactly what to check. And you can download that using the link in the description below. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by your brush library after the 5.4 update for Procreate, I definitely recommend watching this next video where I'll walk you through exactly how to organize your brushes properly. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.